Welcome to Unpacked, real conversations for diplomatic partners who are ready to unpack more than just boxes. This is the space for the brave questions, the messy middles, and the quiet decision to stop shrinking and start showing up fully. We talk identity, purpose, transitions, and what it really takes to feel at home in a life that's always moving. Because you've always been more than just the label, and this is where we say it out loud. Hi, I'm Emma, and I'm with my co-host Anna.
Hi everybody, welcome back to Unpacked. I'm with my lovely co-host Anna. How are you doing, Anna?
I'm doing great.
Yeah.
So good to see you, Emma.
I know, isn't it funny? We must tell our our listeners that we've just probably been on here for about an hour catching up, and we're like, oh my gosh, we should have recorded this whole thing. So it's great that we're getting back and getting into our brains in gear again. I love it. Tell me, what have you been up to for the last few weeks?
Well, it's summer here, right? Holidays time. We spoke about holidays and what it means like for diplomatic families. So for my family, it meant that my middle child, she's in a boarding school in Australia, was allowed to come here and we spent amazing time together. So it was lovely exploring Lebanon a bit, and it's such a pretty country with the sea and the mountains and amazing food. And also a couple of things have been happening work-wise. One of them was I am a trained German teacher and a conference interpreter.
Yes.
So and I had an amazing interpreting gig in Riyadh.
Amazing. Tell us what happened.
Well, it was a big meeting by the Saudi government and a couple of companies on the topic of the renewable energy. That's all that I can share here. But it was an amazing trip because it was the first time for me going to Saudi Arabia. And it was hot.
Yes, I can
Very
imagine.
hot. But it's very different to Dubai because you know how Dubai in summer right now, it's very hot and humid.
Yes.
Riyadh is just hot, so it's dry heat,
Oh.
and it feels very, very different.
Interesting.
So I'm meeting amazing colleagues, working in an amazing place. So that was actually very fulfilling and really super fun.
And that's
How about
amazing.
you?
Well, we've been on our honeymoon, so we had, finally. It felt like I was waiting and building up to this entire holiday for such a long time. We just had the most wonderful time. We were in Mauritius, and obviously it's winter in Mauritius, so the weather wasn't completely like really, really hot. It was actually quite cool, but actually I found that it was perfect because that meant we could go for a walk. The hotel had a golf course, so we were played a little bit of golf. I beat my husband on one hole, which I was
Really? I saw some pictures, yes.
Yes.
On Insta, yeah.
He wasn't very happy. I try not to be so good because it usually leads to silent treatment for the rest of the day.
No, really?
Yes. He's very competitive and very good at golf. So if I've beaten him, and I'm very much a beginner, it doesn't go down well. So whenever I do, I have a secret celebration on my own, and try not to make too much of a deal of it. And there was this hotel. It was just so lovely. There was yoga. I went to a Tai Chi class. And honestly, I went to this Tai Chi class. This teacher was incredible, and he made me cry. And I was like, oh, this is. Do you know sometimes when you just need that little bit of moment just to kind of get in touch with how you're actually feeling and spirituality and just that, just an opportunity to breathe. I think, and this is an issue that I found. I love yoga, but I ruined yoga when I went and did my teacher training, because now when I go to a yoga class and I'm like in front of a new teacher, I'm thinking, what are they saying? What cue did they say? Which pose are they going to do? Oh, that was interesting. And
Okay.
I'm having to really try and learn how to switch off that conscious mind when I'm now in a yoga class. So I think going to the Tai Chi class, because I had no experience, no no understanding of it, that I was able to really just allow myself to sink into the whole experience and just really feel my whole entire body. And it was really interesting. He said yoga is amazing because it's your fire practice, but you need Tai Chi, which is your water and your cooling. And I was like, I definitely need some water and cooling after my June. So it definitely, it all fitted in wonderfully together. And we actually had a little trip to Dubai on the way back, which was very nice.
Saw that too.
Yeah, I got my
Very
hair
cool.
done, and we just went to nice restaurants, ate all the nice food, doing all of the things you can do in Dubai, getting our favourite hot chocolate delivered, going and getting my favourite coffee beans. Because it's funny, isn't it? I don't know whether you found this, Anna. When you move from country to country, you become so attached to certain things that you can only buy in that country.
Yes,
And I'm like, and I feel
absolutely.
like I sound like this biggest diva. Like my husband went to Ethiopia for a work trip, and he bought me some coffee beans, and I'm like, oh my God, these coffee beans are the best coffee beans. I was like, I only now can have coffee from Ethiopia, and we buy our hot chocolate from Dubai. I'm like, this is getting more and more ridiculous.
Well, because you kind of, yes, exactly. So your standards, when you kind of tried good stuff, but then you tried amazing stuff, obviously it's very difficult to go back from amazing to just
Yes,
good.
yes.
But I think we kind of, we're all flexible, and I'm sure if need be, you can have non-Ethiopian coffee beans. This is an emergency.
Yes.
Right. Situation. It's so wonderful, Emma, and thank you so much for sharing that this Tai Chi practice. And anyway,
Yeah.
so glad to hear you had an amazing holiday, well deserved. And what I was thinking when you were telling this, experience you had during the Tai Chi class, to me it sounded like release.
Yes.
It was really because I know you've been really, really busy, lots of work, podcasts. See, and that's what we're actually going to talk about today, that we are
Yes.
very talented and amazing, and we do so
Yes.
many different things. And how
Yes.
do we try to balance them? But I think when you're kind of balancing and juggling so many balls, keeping them all in the air, and then suddenly you sat down and were just still, and I think like all this accumulated still pressure and I don't know, newness, a lot of things. It just came out, and I'm so glad you had this wonderful relief, release, and like, whoa,
Yeah. Oh, just keep
moment.
talking to me, Anna. Just this is. I'm like, you're taking me back. I'm like, this is
Really?
wonderful. Yes. I
This
just,
is wonderful.
I just love it when anyone says to me, just take a deep breath in, and
Exactly.
you just really feel it, don't you?
Because I've been there, and I think Tai Chi, correct me if I'm wrong, it also works with your energy, and it really, it's kind of when you move this stagnant energy or like really build up, and you did not have time to, I know, because you were so busy prior to the holiday, really sit down and just be. You
Yes.
were not a human being, you were a human doing.
Yes, I was definitely human doing.
And then suddenly the switch went like, oh, from doing to being. It's like, whoa.
Yeah. And what was really interesting about the Tai Chi, and actually what I've now taken into my normal yoga practice, because I'm still looking for a Tai Chi teacher. So if anyone knows an amazing online Tai Chi teacher, please let me know. But I've been doing my yoga on my own. But one thing they said in Tai Chi is that you should always be looking at nature, because then you give back anything that you're worried about, you give back to nature, just to give to, because nature just sorts everything out. So every time now I've done my yoga practice, I've always faced the top of my mat looking at some trees or anything, or grass, or I mean, when I teach yoga we do it outside, which is amazing. I love it because we get to listen to the birds. But yeah, when I'm doing it myself, if we can be outside and just give the energy, send the energy back, bring the energy from the nature all the way back in. Yeah, it's lovely. It's great.
I'm going to use this trick too. And actually, I've been already doing it. I'm going to share it with you guys. That's the tree,
Ooh,
the one and
beautiful.
only, or two near me. And this has always been my favorite spot in the house. Like me and those two trees, they're my friends. I
Yeah,
felt intuitively drawn to, okay, there is an opening. I see the Mediterranean there behind the buildings.
beautiful.
But the trees, like this green, that somehow it does calm me down, it does ground me.
And it does make a big difference. I think the
Yeah.
scientific research that says if you spend at least 20 minutes in nature, the positive effects of your well-being is far
through the roof.
Yes, it's huge. So yes, go and spend some time in nature, or just do whatever you like to do, and just do it outside. So if you love to read, just go and sit in a park or a garden and just feel the benefits.
If you can, right? Because in
yes.
some places right now, you don't want to.
No.
It's a bit too hot.
Yes.
But let's talk about, I think, when we started this conversation, right? So it's wonderful to hear what you've been up to. And let's talk a bit about what we do, right?
Yes.
Our purpose, our calling. Okay, yes, we are diplomatic partners, but we all know the majority of us are highly, highly, highly educated. We obviously had lives and jobs and hobbies before we started living this very global lifestyle. Like, how do you keep it all? How do you do it? Like, who are you? What do you do, Emma?
What do I do? So many things. In some ways, when anyone asks me that question, because if anyone follows me on Instagram, they know that's like the worst question. I think that you can't ask a partner, because I think that it adds so many different things, every element. But I like to always say, who am I and what do I do? My purpose, I actually love to help people. So I love to help and support people feel incredible. And a lot of people come to me in my coaching practice and say, I don't know what my purpose is. I want to feel fulfilled. And there are so many different avenues of what you can do to fill your purpose, that actually they're all different expressions. And so if we can just get back to what do you actually enjoy doing, and what is the bigger meaning of that. So when I think about in my past life, I was a teacher. Why did I want to be a teacher? Well, I wanted to make a difference on young people's lives. So if I take that even further, why do I want to make a difference on young people's lives? Well, when I was in school, I loved it when teachers made me feel special, important, confident, like I could do it. And I was like, yeah, I want to help people also feel like that. And that's something that has continued to build and build and build. Then it's, why did I want to be a head of department? Well, I wanted to make my team feel great. I wanted to make even a bigger systematic change in my department amazing. And then when you kind of get to the point where you reach that version of yourself where you're like, yeah, I've done that. And actually you evolve, don't you? So it's not always about, okay, I am my purpose and my vocation, I'm a teacher. That's not necessarily, you can sometimes realize your potential, you've done it, and you're like, okay, now I'm ready to level up. What do I want to do now? Who am I now? So when I was in that stage, I was always like, okay, I really want to be able to coach people. I want to support people, because the way that I've had coaches that have helped me change my mindset and helped me feel good and help me feel empowered, that actually I want to help adults do that. And so now I was in a position, which is a wonderful position, where I basically have this 2 avenues of my expression of my purpose. So I still work with young people, and I still tutor mathematics. Within that, I don't ever just say I'm a maths teacher. I feel like what I do is way more than that. I help people feel confident, feel empowered. I help them understand strategy, and with all my exam marking that I do, I also help them to understand exam skills. So I've actually developing this thing at the moment called the Confident Girls Maths Club, which I'm very excited about, because I work predominantly with girls, and I work predominantly with girls because they're the ones who say, I'm rubbish at maths, and they're the ones that say, I can't do maths tests, and they have a huge amount of anxiety when it comes to assessment. And I think as girls, because we, a lot of us, as well in diplomatic partner world, we're mainly girls, it is a gender thing, we take on a lot of pressure and anxiety and perfection that we want to achieve. And maths is really not about perfection. It's about trying and persevering and experimenting and giving it a go, which boys are great at, which is why the stereotype comes in that boys are better at the maths than girls are.
Really?
Yeah. So really when I'm working with my girls, it's all about, let's just give it a go. Like, well, there's no pressure. It's just me and you here. You know, let's experiment, let's give it a go, let's see what happens, and then we'll tweak and change it. So I'm very, very lucky that I still get to do that, and I get to build something that I really, really love. And at the same time, I'm working on my zesty life and my work with diplomatic partners. And again, I feel like I'm all about the girls. I do work with boys, I promise. But a lot of the people who I work with are girls and or ladies and women. And I just feel like as a... You know, we are desperate and in need to feel good, to reclaim our power, and to just feel like incredible human beings that we do. We manage everything so much, don't we? So how that looks in practice. Sorry, I'm going all the way around the world here, Anna, with this question.
No, that's so amazing. I think for me and for everyone to know, like, oh my God, right? Exactly that. And I think it's not mutually excluding what you're doing. You can, because it's still the same. Helping people, making the world a better, happier place, helping women and girls feel confident. I think exactly this, the empowerment bit there. I love it.
Yeah, it's so important to me that I think we feel so disempowered in many areas of our life, and culture and society doesn't necessarily help us. No. So it is really important that we have our cheerleaders, and I like to say to my students, I'm like their big sister, maths big sister. And I just really want people to know that I am there for them. And I think ultimately, whether what capacity that's in a friendship, in a coaching capacity, in a teacher capacity, I am always there and always just hoping and praying that they're just feeling good. So yeah, in reality, gosh, I probably work, it's about 50-50, I think, percentage of my time, maybe a little bit more on my my tutoring side at the moment, but that tends to be Monday to Thursday from about 3 till 7 or 7:30. And then I also teach yoga here in the community, and again, that's all about me providing service and space for people to allow themselves to breathe and to feel good. So again, another expression of my purpose. I put that probably is about half a day, and then all of my zesty stuff is every day and every possible opportunity that I possibly have, because I love doing my zesty. It was amazing having a break on holiday. And then you kind of come back and you're like, oh, I haven't posted in ages. And then I started thinking about it. And it becomes like a bigger task. Oh, I need to post something. And then actually when I sat down and did it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is great. I can be creative again.
Finally.
Yeah. It was like, oh, I'm back in this community, in this space again. And I love it. So yeah, that's how I try and balance everything, which is never equally balanced. I think if anyone says that they have balance, they're lying. I think we, unfortunately, when we juggle things, one thing has to take priority than others, and things switch, doesn't it?
Exactly. I can't remember who said it. I think it was about motherhood, actually, in Korea. I think Michelle Obama said it. You can have it both, but not at the same time. Or you can have it all, but not at the same time. And I think exactly, where are the priorities, where is the focus. And I love that you said, okay, this is what I do, but I can see there is an overarching theme, helping people, making them feel better, empowering them. So definitely for me, it's like, it's kind of all,
it all
towards
makes
that
sense.
goal, right?
Yes,
It does
yes.
make sense, absolutely. Because that's another thing that happens to a lot of diplomatic spouses, right? Because I don't know what is your, let's say, former education or professional, whatever. Once you start living this lifestyle, it's very difficult to have the continuity in a career just due to lots of regulations, moves around the world. Plus, you grow as a person, and as you say, maybe you've achieved something now. It's the next level. And I think, because we were talking about it, Emma and myself, before recording this podcast, that I think to a degree, when I said, okay, I'm now a coach helping trailing spouses, I stopped talking about the fact that I'm also an interpreter and a German teacher, almost hiding those two things. But I
Yes.
think it's actually really cool that we have so many skills, so many talents, and maybe, yes, some of it is, or some bits are at times at a back burner, but it doesn't mean that they're forever. You can still kind of take them out of their toolbox, brush them up, and use them. And I think
Yes.
what I'm trying to say is it's okay if it's a bit patchy.
Yes.
It's fine because I think if you look at and think of a career, okay, maybe your spouse is the one who is a diplomat and he has one straight line going up career, and we don't have that. We have lots of pivots, lots of shifts. Um, yes, it's very different pace and maybe doesn't look like one straight line.
Yes.
And I think that's okay. Kind of give
And
yourself grace. And look, there are positives about it too. You can try out so
absolutely.
many things.
Yes, this is what I was just about to say. I mean,
Really?
yeah, we're told that this corporate ladder or this straight line is the one, but I mean, ultimately, that sounds pretty boring. If you get to pick and mix and match and create a life and a career, and I love this term portfolio career, where you get to spend time doing things that you love. That to me, I mean, it sounds way more fun than being told I need to go to an office and arrive and then leave and then, oh, are you doing a good job? Okay, but then we'll give you a promotion. That again, it's the corporate, it's a societal, it's a cultural thing that we're constantly told that that's what we should be aiming for. We should be aiming for the promotions. But that again, it's all external validation. We know we're amazing, and
Absolutely.
that's why it takes so much greater confidence, because when all of your internal validation comes from within and you're the one having to push yourself out there and spread your wings, it takes a huge amount of energy and self-determination.
Absolutely. And then, I think what you do, I hope the another bonus from living this lifestyle and trying out so many different things, self-trust and ability to make things work because you've done it before. Right, you have the skill, you can start over. But I think why the career ladder, the one straight line, looks so attractive to many people, right, and praised by society because practically speaking, this straight line and career ladder equals stable income, certainty, and predictability. And you don't
Yes.
have it as much when you kind of doing it the patchy way, the way we almost forced to do.
Yes.
And we kind of choosing to say, hi, I am enjoying it too. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Because again, like practically speaking, then how do you, because it entails way more uncertainty and way more pivots than this one straight upwards and onwards. So how to still be practical and smart enough about that and balance off, like, the security, like how to say the risk management
Yeah, and
financially. And I think for a lot of us, that's another, we'll talk about it next time.
yes.
The big gray elephant.
And I think that there is, like you say, there is a lot of risk and stability and how you can do that. And I think it really, for me, I'm very lucky because I made some contacts and made connections, and I get some of my tutoring work through an organisation in Dubai. Um, and I see that as my stability. I can predictability. Yes, yes, it's freelance. Yes, there is, my kids can cancel if there's a sports event, or there isn't that. I don't know what I'm going to earn at the end of every single month, but I do know that they are I will always have tutoring, and I've been very fortunate to be fully booked for the last 3 years doing that. But again, working in education, we have times off in the summer, over the winter period when families travel. So I do have ups and downs, and
Yeah.
I think being financially savvy and financially aware, I take on a little bit more than what I need, so that I can then put some money aside so that I can pay myself basically over the summer and over winter, because I know I'm not going to, I will do very little tutoring work, and that is my stable income. So I think just if you are creating any business, or you're doing freelance work, it's just about, okay, this isn't just my money or my wage right now. This is also my down months and my holidays, or sick days. It's everything, isn't it? So, and it's for your pension, and so I think there's also a big conversation about self-worth and self-value here, and what we're charging others for our services, because ultimately, when you're self-employed and they're paying for, a one-off thing, whatever that service may be, they are paying for your holidays, they're paying for your marketing time, it's paying for every single thing. So I think it's very important just to be aware that if you are being self-employed, then you should be putting money away to make sure you can prepare yourself for quieter times.
Definitely. I agree with you 100%, Emma. And I was just thinking, I'd love to have an episode with you. Maybe we can get someone on board to come and enlighten us a bit more. But I think the financial bit and exactly how to make yourself financially savvy, smart, in a lifestyle where you not always have access to I don't know, to the job market. Like how do you still take care and make sure you're really looking after yourself, because a woman without money is a woman without power, without leverage, no options, and you cannot exit if things go sideways.
Yes.
So exiting is very difficult. So I think it's a big topic, and I would love to talk about it in more depth one.
And I think it would be great if we could get somebody on here, wouldn't it? Who would be able to support us and advise us. So if anyone has any amazing people out there, please let us know. And please share. We'd love to do it. And I think it's important to give us the flip side here, because for some people, self-employment doesn't feel good, and maybe they, depending on the country that they're in, they will go for employment in country and find a local job, or maybe work at the embassy, and also that's okay. It's also okay for that to be that's people's choices, because for some people, stability and the sometimes
life's happening.
Yes, that's okay. For some people, stability and even just like a working environment, because when you're working in person, generally you have colleagues, you have systems, and usually that can actually just be a personality preference for somebody. So it's not to say that being self-employed is the only way to do it. When you're a partner, there are multiple ways, but I think, like everything, there's a balance, and this is where, as partners, we have to be very aware of the choices that we make. So if we're choosing to be employed locally, then we have to be aware that there might be time where we're unemployed. We're being paid at a local rate, which might be lower than our home countries. We have to be aware that when we leave the country, that we might again have another gap. When we're self-employed, you have to be aware that yes, you might have stability in terms of you can take you anywhere, but you have this ups and downs in potentially in pay. It could be that you're very reliant on internet, and some countries have very, very poor internet, and then that can cause an issue. So we have to be very aware that there are pros and cons with every avenue that we can take as partners.
Exactly, but I think having this awareness means you can make, and hopefully I think that's the aim here, right? We would love to help everyone to make informed decisions.
Yes.
And have options and have choices and know how to do all these thinking ahead and really knowing, hey, what's smart, and maybe do things a bit differently.
And I think it's also about protecting yourself, isn't it? It's standing up for yourself. It's making sure that you're okay, and not having that reliant on somebody else or the system to help you. I think it's being in that moment and being like, no, this is my life, this is what I want it to do, this is what makes me feel good, and this is my plan. And I will figure out the actions points around what that plan actually looks like, and what happens in reality might change as you start to get into it. But it's about, what do I want for my life?
Exactly. And I think this is so brilliant. This is so important that we talk about it here, because if you look at the lifestyle of a diplomatic partner, you know, kind of the system, this lifestyle, it has not been built with us in mind. And that's why kind of you really have to have a very strong, unshakable mindset if you want to make it work. And you have to, it's not an option. And I think it starts with you, because, and you don't have to have all the answers. You don't need to work out right now the job or the portable career, anything. As long as you know, hey, this is your life. You're effing important, you're mission critical, you matter, you're like, you can decide, you deserve to have the best and not just be the supporting act forever. So I think like, as long as you have this, and I call it like, the mindset is 80%.
Yes.
Like, if you look at life, everything is 80% mindset, 20% skills. So you can learn the skills, you can work out the job, but as long as you have, this is unshakable belief, this is my amazing, precious life. I'm an amazing, precious human being with so many skills, talents, desires, and dreams, and I do matter. Then you're good.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm nodding along. And when we talk about balance, Anna, how do you balance out all of your aspects of your life and because you also have children? How do you balance everything, or attempt to?
I attempt to. I think what I've learned, you really have to do it. Give yourself grace. I've really learned to be my biggest cheerleader, take things as they come, because there were some times in my life, some of them very recent, where I could only be a mom again, because that was the priority. It was a lot of uncertainties. There was war here, and then I paused everything because my kids needed me. We had to move countries. So what I'm trying to say, like, go with the flow a bit, but have this vision, goal, and yet enough flexibility to pivot. So yes, if interpreting comes, and I love doing that, I do it, but also I'm building and my brand, not just a spouse, with the coaching, with advocacy, with community building. So this is my passion. Really, I'm deeply passionate, because I see lots of flows. I know it's built in, it's structural, it's not personal, and yet while the systems are changing, I want to, like you, Emma, really empower and say, hey guys, hey, wait, don't question your worth, that you're somehow unable to make it work. No, you're put in a tiny shoebox in a pretzel position, and you're doing already really an amazing job. Whatever you're doing is already amazing. And it's so funny how I say, hey, you're so lucky you get to, your spouse is a diplomat. It's like, who is the lucky one here?
Yes. Who is the lucky one? And
what do you guys think?
Well,
what do you think, Emma?
Maybe we should put like a pause the recording now to think about it. I think that we add so much life and vibrancy to our partners and our families' lives that ultimately I think we have choice, don't we? We can. Well, we should have a choice. We could continue to be in our partners, our relationships, our families, but we could do that in 2 different countries. We could say, no, I'm valuing stability, and I want to just stay in one place. If you want to go around the world, you know where we are. Keep coming back, please.
Yeah.
We could say that we're going to split and take our families into 2 separate countries. For lots of us, we obviously want to keep our family units together, and that means us going round the world. just that choice in itself, if we're choosing to move countries, that means that they are very, very lucky that we are willing to adapt, willing to move our entire lives and potentially our careers and all the disruption that can cause, that we are willing to do that for them. I mean, that is... they should be thinking, goodness me, wow.
They won a jackpot.
They did win the jackpot.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Exactly. And I think maybe to wrap up, let's say, know that they're the lucky ones and you're doing, once again, such an amazing job, right, Emma? I think.
Yes.
And even if it does look patchy, even if it does look right, that's not one straight line with lots
Yes.
of pivots, lots of pauses, lots of phases where you don't do much because, I don't know, you became a mom or things happened or you just moved countries, you're sorting yourself out. Yeah, just remember you are beautiful, amazing, and they are very lucky to have you.
Very, very lucky. And I just would like to just recommend a book. It's called The Squiggly Career. Or Squiggly Career Path, I can't quite remember. But it is about this concept of that it's okay that we have these ups and downs and ins and outs of our career. And it's a really great resource. If anyone is feeling that pressure of perfection of the career ladder and, going up, just take a look at that book and maybe have a think about and be creative and actually think, is it that I want to do the career ladder because that makes me feel good and great and that's what my purpose and my joy becomes? Brilliant, keep with it. But if you're doing it because society and culture and that's what you think you should be aiming for, maybe now's the time just to take a deep breath, have a think about what it is that you really, really want to do in the next stages, and just to take the moment to really explore yourself and just have a really an amazing time figuring it out.
Exactly. And on that note, I just wanted to add there was something I was thinking about the other day. Sometimes when I think, okay, I need to solve this problem, I start looking for answers like I'm looking for lost keys. Like, but it's not like that. With answers, I think, you kind of need to create some space and then they come.
Yes.
So, sorry, it's getting a bit noisy
That's okay.
in my apartment.
Yes. Well, that's just life, Anna.
This is life. It's all happening live, exactly.
Yes.
So, and yes, before we go, don't be hard on yourself. Give yourself grace. Give yourself time. The answers will come. And just one thing, never forget, they're very lucky and you're doing a beautiful job.
Yes. And as always, please like, subscribe, share this episode with a friend if you've enjoyed it. Feel free to contact us. We're always here to cheerlead you on and just be there. And no question is ever too small, is it, Anna? And how can people contact you if they want to message you, Anna?
I have a website, notjustaspouse.com, notjustaspouse on Instagram, and well, if you find me there, you find my long last name, or you can see it in the description of the podcast.
Yes.
So you find me on LinkedIn.
Yes.
And how about you, Emma?
So you can find me at The Zesty Life on Instagram, and my email again is in the show notes. And if you're particularly really interested in the Confident Girls Maths Club, then just send me a message and I will send you the link for that, because that's all over somewhere else. But it has been an absolute pleasure as always, Anna. I just love spending time with you. Your energy is beautiful as always, and yes, very much looking forward to our next conversation.
Thank you, Emma. The pleasure was all mine. Bye, everyone.
Bye bye. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.